So beginning our practice together, allow yourself to come to a comfortable seat or to lie down on your mat. And simply bring your awareness to your body, the sensations of your body. Bringing yourself into the present moment by drawing your awareness towards sensations that are arising right now. So you may feel texture or the air moving on your skin, movement of your breath, those kinds of things. Allow yourself to relax through your face, your upper body, and to simply breathe nice, long, slow, even breaths. And we're endeavoring to keep this kind of cadence and presence throughout our entire practice. So as you become familiar with being in your body and being with your breath, endeavor to stay with that as we go through the next 40-some minutes together. Shared breath to mark the start. Exhale, empty your lungs. Nice big inhale. And a long sigh. And welcome once again, my yogi friends, to your yoga practice. Really great to have you here. As you open your eyes, take your arms up overhead, take a bit of a stretch, interlace your fingers, press your palms up. Take a bit of a back bend, kind of a good morning stretch, a little bit side to side, whatever works. Oh yeah, and then slowly come onto your hands and knees and just start to move this way and that, nudging into the sensations in your back, the sides of your hips, your legs, wherever the heck it is. Nice. And then just a few cat-cows to start. Really important to have your hands pressing down and dialing away from one another. Get the hands nice and strong. Tops of your feet nice and strong as well. As you inhale, lift your head, lift your bum, your chest is forwards. And then as you exhale, you round, you press, you tuck your chin, move your pelvis forwards. Core nicely activated here. Inhale, lengthening. The belly extends. And exhale, round and press and tuck. Nice. Again, inhale, lengthen. And exhale to round. Beautiful. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, look over your right shoulder, hips sway to the left a little bit. Inhale, center. Exhale, look to the left, hips sway right. And again, inhale. Exhale, swaying side to side, a little lateral flexion. Inhale. Exhale. One more time each side. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale, look left. Nice. As you inhale, come back to neutral. Spread your knees a little bit wider. Send yourself back to child's pose. Keep your hands forwards. Try not to move them as you descend in here. Get a bit of spinal traction here. And then as you inhale, come up onto your hands and knees. And without moving your hands and knees around too much, try to lay down on the mat. And feet might lift. Inhale up to sort of a cobra shape and exhale back to child's pose. So prana pumps is what we're calling these things. Inhale up. Exhale, lie down. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, push back. Child's. One more time. Inhale, rising. Exhale, descending. Inhale, rising. Exhale all the way back and relaxing into child's pose one more time. As you inhale, come back to hands and knees. Get your shins roughly parallel, tuck your toes, and Press with your toes and your hands to hover your knees off the mat. Get nice and long through your spinal column. And then from here, move your bum back, then up, downward dog, and get a little bit active with your legs. So bend one knee deeply as you stretch into the other leg, and then go to the other side. Crack your toes and so forth. Snap, crackle, pop. And then we'll walk ourselves up the mat, dangle towards the head of the mat. Feet a little bit separated here. Torso draped on your upper thighs. Let your head relax down. Bend your knees quite a bit. And then, so in other words, your bum is more or less sitting in a chair. Interlace your fingers, point your index fingers, and then inhale, come to a half lift with your bum in the chair. So torso parallel to the ground, arms squeezing towards your biceps. Exhale, fold. Keep the bum where it is. Inhale, half lift, send your hands forward, squeeze your palms together. Exhale, fold. And one more time. Inhale, half lift. This time exhale to stay. And inhaling, just your torso lifts up, creating a bit of a back bend, sitting into the chair, arms overhead. And then on your next inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, release your hands down to the sides of your body. Feet can step together. Inhale, your hands up overhead. Exhale, just bring your hands down the midline. Interlace your fingers, press down. Inhale, send your hands forwards and up. And exhale, flare your elbows out wide. Try to tug your elbows apart. Press your feet down, gather your thighs together. Take your hands down a little further, palms still face up. So isometrically, try to drag the elbows apart. Nice. And then inhale, send your hands up, and exhale, hands down. Beside the side of the body. Inhale your hands to the heart. From here, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, turn to the right, extend through your hands. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale to stay, and let's do that the opposite way. Inhale, open to the right. Exhale to close. I think I like that better. I don't know about you. Inhale, open, nice and expansive. Exhale, close. One more time. Inhale, opening. Exhale, closing. Inhale, opening. Exhale, and close it down. Inhale your hands up overhead. A little bit of lateral flexion, and here we'll really focus on the right kind of connections that we need here. So we'll interlace our fingers and just keep them like in a big old fist here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale over to the right. And find yourself balancing on your left foot. Take your right foot out to the side up on your toe tips. So the arch of your left foot is lifting. You feel that through the inner thigh as you nudge your hips to the left. And you try and really draw your hands to the upper right. Now that right toe sticking out there, try to lift your right foot from the ground and continue to create this line of energy all the way up the left side of the torso. So even nudging more to the left to create that lovely length. And then inhale back, feet together. Exhale, settle. And we'll do that on the other side. So inhale, reach up. Feel that sense of the right foot nice and active, the arch lifting, inner thigh firing. Take yourself over to the left a little bit, getting an extension as well on the outer right side of the body, and then you take your left foot out. So balance and effort is all in the right leg, arch of the right foot, engaged, inner thigh engaged, maybe the left foot lifts, and you really extend into the right side of your torso. Draw with that left hand. Cool. And then inhale, back up, feet together. Exhale, hands can come all the way down. Good. And let's add a little back bend and a forward roll. Inhale your hands up overhead. And then exhale, just simply descend back into a back bend. Your hands could be separated, your hands could be together. So your bum squeezes, your chest lifts up, belly's forwards. Try not to collapse in the low back. You're keeping a good sense of engagement through the frontal muscles, the core muscles. Try not to pop your ribs. Nice. And then inhale, come up. And then exhale, just slowly ragdoll yourself all the way down, rolling down your spine. Knees bend quite deeply as you drape forwards. Bum comes into the chair, and inhale, swoop your arms forwards and sit into the darn chair. Weight back towards your heels, hands nicely forwards. Beautiful. From here, inhale, swoop your hands open like you're doing the breaststroke. And as you exhale, sit back down, this time with your palms face up. Swimming bear. Inhale, open, standing up. Exhale, swoop forwards. One more time, inhale, open. And exhale, swoop forward. So working into the shoulders a little bit while sitting in the chair. Kind of nice. Palms are face up like you're making an offering to someone in front of you. Beautiful. Big inhale, exhale, fold forwards. Inhale to a halfway lift, and then exhale, bend your knees, your heels start to lift, your bum touches your heels, plant your hands, step one leg, the other leg back to plank pose, top of the push-up. Hands, press them down, dial them away from one another, nice and strong through the shoulders. I like to have my feet right side together, thighs together, a little bit of lift at the bum. So almost like a hollow back version of the push-up, so not letting your bum collapse in any way. So nice sense of engagement through the whole body. Beautiful. From this place, drop your knees down, flatten out your feet, hips down, lie down, cobra. Inhale, heart comes forwards. Notice that the hands are pressing down, dialing away. This makes your elbows collect towards one another. Get your knees to lift and squeeze together, and then try to lift your hands from the mat. Beautiful. And then exhale, down we go. As you inhale, we'll come to our hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Notice here your knees are probably and hands are probably far apart. I like to tuck my fingers and step my wrists back a little bit before going back and up into downward dog. That gives me just about the right length. So little tips like that, you can incorporate them in your own practice. Well, everybody's a little bit different, so that's what works for me. And I told you it was about me today. Hope you're enjoying it. As you inhale, send your right leg up high, and you're nice and high on the ball of the left toe, or left big toe. As you exhale, your weight comes forwards, you bring your knee all the way over to your upper right arm. Beautiful. From here, inhale, bring your knee down towards your wrist, and then exhale, knee up towards the armpit. Inhale down, exhale up, inhale down, exhale up. And then inhale all the way back up. And exhale, step your foot to the front of the mat. Take the weight back a little bit. So you sort of straighten the right leg a bit. And then step forwards with the left foot, inhaling halfway lift. And then exhale, bend your knees, heels lift. Hands plant. And back we go again. Plank pose, top of the push-up. Nice and strong in those hands. A little bit of rounding through the upper back, core nicely engaged, legs squeezing towards one another. And how do I get down to the mat? This is how I do it. Maybe you do it differently. I drop to my knees, flatten out my feet, begin to lie down, trying to keep the elbows close to the side of the body. And then you're right in the position, ready for cobra. Root your pelvis down, squeeze your legs together, hover your knees, and then inhale up. And maybe take your hands out the side, flying Beautiful, like locust. Nice big inhale, come up. And then exhale down you go. Inhale, hands and knees. And again, this distance isn't right for me. Tuck all my fingers under, step my wrist back, tuck my toes, back up we goes, downward dog. Nice. From here, you're balancing on your right foot, right heel lifts strongly. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, left knee to outer left arm. Inhale to drop your knee down towards your wrist. Exhale to lift it up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. And then inhale all the way back and up. And exhale, or step our left foot through. Now to get the right foot forwards, take that left knee back a bit. You're straightening your left leg. Then step forwards, right foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands can come down to your hips. And adjust your clothing. This clothing really doesn't work for this practice. It goes all over the place. But I don't like plastic clothing either, so I don't know what to do about it. I'm not doing naked yoga, I'll tell you that. So here, balancing on your left foot. Bring your right knee up. Hold your right knee with your right hand. Flex your right toes back towards you, and keeping that knee nice and high, and those toes flex back, open your knee out to the side. Take your left hand, put your thumb and first finger together, and palm face up out to the left, and try to get lots of distance between the right knee and the left hand. Bonus points, look towards your left hand, but you don't need to go there. You can continue to flex that right foot back towards you. Then inhale, back to center, hand to hip, exhale, foot down. And we'll try it on the other side. Now, didn't mention this on the first side, but let's mention it here. We're going to balance on our right leg here. We want to feel this engagement of the inner leg line, foot to core connection. So big toe mound to the right foot presses in. There's a bit of gathering of your arch of your right foot until you feel the inner thigh of the right thigh engaged, and that connection right through to the core. Then bring the left leg up. So we're trying to create that foundation, and then left hand to left knee, right hand to your hip, left toes flex back, so get that knee up as high as you can to get out to the side. Still, foot to core connection is working the whole time. Thumb, first finger of the right hand touch, extend the hand out, take the knee a bit wider, and then notice maybe you lose the connection of the arch of the foot up to the core. I certainly did just there. It's like, oh, what's happening? So trying to sustain this awareness of connection through the whole body in these balancing poses. To exit, hand to hip, knee forwards, foot down, we'll shake it off. We'll do that again just slightly differently. So find the foot to core connection. So big toe mound, sort of presses down. Even the big toe sort of drags back, helps to lift the arch of the left foot. You can feel my inner thigh firing. Bring the right knee up. This time take your left hand to the outer right knee. Keep the knee nice and high. Flex the right toes back towards you. Draw that knee across the midline as you draw your belly in, sustaining that foot to core connection. And then right hand reaches out behind you, palm face up. And again, bonus points, look to the back hand. I'm not going there today. Keep that connection across the front of the body, everything nicely integrated into the shape. And then exit the way you came in, hand to hip, I lost it, foot down, shake it off, and then the other side, of course. Begin to build that foundation through the right foot, up through the inner thigh, left leg lifts, right hand outside the left knee. Draw the knee across a little bit, you'll feel the outer left hip engaged, feel your belly drawing in, so a slight sense of core containment there. Left hand into chin mudra, and then try to stay nice and tall, nice and active as you balance on one leg. Wobbling will happen. That's okay. And then to exit, hand to hip, other hand to hip, foot down, shake it off. Nicely done. From this place, let's just step 1, 2 steps to the back of your mat and go through Warrior 1 and Warrior 3, as well as maybe some other stuff, see what arises. So I start with my heels together, toes touching, turn your right foot out so it's pointing to about 130. Little bend in your knees, step your left foot forwards so that from your hip bone of the left leg through the middle of your left knee is moving in the direction of your second toe. So everything's all nicely lined up on the left leg. Bend into that. Back foot is pressing in and slightly internally rotating. Front foot is pressing down and externally rotating. Everything feels like it's rotating to the left. From here, bring your hands up. And you can bring your hands kind of wherever you like to bring them. The thing I'd like you to notice, even with the foot pressing down, front left foot pressing down and dialing externally, there's a sense of the arch slightly lifting and the inner thigh of the left leg slightly engaged. The reason we want that is to allow ourselves to get this transition to Warrior 3. So you pivot your right heel from the mat, again, create that connection through the left leg, begin to tip forwards, drag your right foot forwards. Left knee can stay bent a little bit to sustain that foot to core connection. And then you can simply tip forwards, maybe your hands on your hips initially. Maybe you fly your hands out to the side. Maybe you send your hands forwards. Let's add one more bit to that. Drop the back foot down, come back to kind of the prep position, back heel lifted. You realize your fingers behind your head this time. Press your head into your hands and feel your back muscles nicely engaged, elbows a little bit forwards. So now you got your left foot, arch lifting, inner thigh engaged, pressing head into hands and lifting your back foot up. So now you got a nice sense of energy through from the back of your head to your foot, as well as from your foot to your core. So creating all of the connections you need to sustain this Warrior 3 shape. And if you can sustain those muscular actions, then you can add in these other arm variations perhaps. As you inhale, feet together, hands up. As you exhale, hands down and step to the back. So, offering you lots of information here. Hopefully it's making some level of sense. Other side. Feet together. Left toes turn out. Right foot steps forwards. Oh, what's going on? Well, there's a bad connection there for a moment. That looks like we're all good. Try again. Sorry. What do we got here? Left foot's turned out at the back. Right foot's forwards. I made a mistake, didn't I? Yes, I did. Now everything is, the feet are pressing down and rotating to the right. Is what we got going on in the Warrior 1. Still, you can feel the arch of the foot lifting, inner thigh slightly engaged. Arms could be up overhead. Maybe you interlace your fingers behind your head. Pivot your back heel. Begin to press your head into your hands. As you begin to lean forwards, sustain that foot to core connection, but also create this dynamic of lifting your back foot and lifting the back of your head, creating an arc of energy from your foot to your head, as well as from your foot to your core. And then maybe you offer the hands out to the side or reach them forwards. Warrior 3. Nice. Inhale, stand up, feet together. Exhale, hands down. And again, step to the back of the mat. Let's try that same kind of prescription for a couple of other balancing poses. So eagle pose would be the first one. So for eagle pose, let's get the arms kind of figured out first. So inhale your hands up and exhale, right elbow under left elbow. Option to grab your shoulders. Option to simply place your hands, backs of your hands towards one another, or maybe bring the fronts of your hands to touch. Hands could be up in prayer, or they could be interlaced into a fist, whatever works. Bend your knees and take your right foot out to the side. Now what's going on in your legs here? The left foot, the arch of the left foot is lifting, creating the foot to core connection, inner thigh. You should be able to feel that firing a bit. There's an internal rotation of your right leg as you keep your hips down low or knees bent. You keep this internal rotation of the right leg, you bring it up and over, and that allows you to get that foot a little further behind your left leg. Maybe it doesn't go all the way, but you can get a little further. So notice that, again, I think I've done this. I've done external rotation of my right leg, lifted up and over. There's no way I can get that foot behind there. The foot has to, or hip has to be internally rotated, up and around it goes. Maybe it gets there, maybe it doesn't. That's certainly closer. So you're trying to sustain foot to core, and just like in Warrior 3, there's a bit of a back bend, this time arc of energy from your tailbone through the back of your head. And then exit, inhale, stand up, feet together, hands overhead. And exhale, so much information, I know. Left arm under right arm. Maybe you grab your shoulders, that might be good enough. Good sense of engagement through the upper back, that's what you want. Backs of hands could touch, fronts of hands could touch. It's really not what it looks like on the outside, or what it feels like on the inside. So we're trying to create those muscular connections. Bend your knees, take the left foot out, slight internal rotation of the left hip. Right foot, sort of clawing the ground, getting a lift into the arch, filling it up through the inner thigh into your low abdomen. Keep that engagement, foot to core, with that internally rotated left leg. Up and over it goes, wrap your leg behind maybe. And the further you bend your knee, the easier it is to stay in the shape. Cool. A little bit of a back bend, create an energetic connection from your tail to the top of your head or back of your head. And then inhale, release. Exhale. Hands, and come back down. One final balance pose. Same approach that we used for Warrior 1. Right foot turns out, and bring your foot up. And here today, if you want to grab your foot with your hand, you can. The reason I'm grabbing my foot with my hand is these pants are so darn slippery. There's no way I can do this any other way. So I'm trying to establish first the connection to the ground. A little bend in the left knee might help you to isolate or locate that sense of lift and engagement from the arch of the foot to the inner thigh to the inner core, a sense of the abdomen kind of sort of connecting through to the upper chest, and then hands to heart, and you just carry that energetic arc from your feet through your core all the way up into your hands. And if you tend to roll to the outer left foot, you'll notice the break in that energetic arc. We're trying to sustain that somehow. For me, a little bend in the knee helps me to stay there, and I don't beat myself up if I can't stay there. It's just yoga, for goodness sakes. And then slowly bring your hands to your heart, your knee forwards, and your foot down. And call it a day on that side. Root into your right foot, turn your left foot out. Start to build that foot to core connection. Even the muscles around the right knee could be nicely supportive. Bring your left foot up where it's going to go. Don't lose the foot to core connection. Feel the belly drawing in. Feel your hands to your heart, gaze forwards. Establish the foundation. It takes persistence, patience, practice, lots of P's there. Hands to your heart and hands up overhead. So trying to connect earth to sky, earth to sky, sky to earth. Connect the two together energetically from your foot to your fingertips. That's tree pose. What do trees do? They connect the earth to the sky. You can do the same thing. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Man, this tree is going to fall down in the breeze. Slowly knee forwards and foot down. Little shake it off. Let's get down to the mat. From the back of your mat, take a big inhale. Exhale, dive all the way forwards. And walk your feet to the edge of your mat, toes out and heels in, and we'll sink down into a little bit of a squat, sinking into those hip creases. Just letting that sustain for a while. Bring your hands to prayer. Even here, this can be quite dynamic. You can squeeze your elbows or your knees towards your elbows. Your elbows can press into your knees. Tailbone can go down, head can go up. You can feel that through your back. So the pose can be as dynamic as you like, in my experience anyhow. Nice. And then from here, place your hands down, walk your hands forwards, step your feet back to plank, and then come down onto your elbows, supported plank. A little bit of a hollow back, so your bum's a little bit lifted. And try to drag your elbows towards your feet and your feet towards your elbows isometrically. You'll feel that strong core connection that we've been trying to create in the class today. Sustain that, sustain it, sustain it, sustain it. And then knees down, feet flatten out. Lie down, gazing forwards into Sphinx pose. Here you can separate your hands so your forearms are parallel. And similar to that supported plank, you can drag your elbows back and try to drag your pelvis forwards, getting more dynamic structure through the front of the body. Building strength to support this core connections. It really creates support for your back. So any issues in the back, this will be very useful for creating that kind of muscular support that we all need. And then slowly overlap your hands, flare your elbows, lie down. And if you like, bend your knees and flip-flop your feet side to side a few times. Releasing your outer hips. And then just one back bend. Now this one, a lot of people don't really like this pose, but there you go. Bend your knees, grab your feet from outside, it's bow pose. Now we're trying to create an arc of energy through the front side of the body. It's not about how high up you come, but creating those energetic connections. So it starts by pressing your pelvic bone down and taking your knees off the mat. So you might kick with your feet a little bit to create that connection from your pelvic bone out towards your knees. And continue to create this arc of energy, of engagement now from the core up through the chest. So bring your chest more forwards as you kick back and up. Try not to compress your low back, but rather to extend through the front side of the body. It's a front side extension. And then slowly come down. Hands by your shoulders, up onto your hands and knees. Exhale back. Child's pose. Again, creating a bit of dynamic traction by keeping the hands forwards as your bum sinks back. Nice. And then slowly drag your hands in to come up to seated and swing your feet out front. Give them a little shake, a little shiggle. Excuse me. Not enough water today. We all need to drink more water. At least I do. I know that. It's just that it's not cold enough. All right, Janu Shirshasana as a cool down. Right leg goes out to the side. Left foot comes through inner upper thigh. You take your hands overhead. You create spinal extension. You turn into the extension. So extension creates a bit of engagement through the core as well. Turn towards the right leg. And then chin and chest forwards. Dive forwards. Reaching towards your right foot. Maybe you reach it, maybe you don't. And try to square up your shoulders. So one shoulder's not high and one low. Square shoulders. Elbows bend to draw you in. But not being severe, right? Whenever you have leverage with your hands, like in twists or like this kind of pose, you have to be a little bit more cautious. We're not trying to hurt ourselves. We can lever ourselves into not the best kind of situations. So don't yank yourself into poses, I guess is the message. No yanking. And then slowly rise up, hands overhead, extend your left leg, right foot comes in. Maybe you need to use your hand to hold it there. Turn to the left, feel a sense of length, and then there's a nice sense of engagements or presence in the front of the body as you fold forwards, reaching for your foot. And maybe there's a gentle descending of your elbows to draw you a bit further in. Nice. This is called Janu Shirsasana. So Shirsasana is headstand and Janu is knee. So this is called head of the knee pose or head to knee pose. Janu Shirsasana. And then slowly rise up and exhale. Lean back as you bring your feet together. Point your toes. Press into the mat, lift your bum up, drop your head back, reverse plank. And then exhale, drop your bum down. Bring the bottoms of your feet together, hold on to both feet. Lift your chest up, pull forwards. And then just round in, looking towards your feet. Again, not trying to yank yourself into the shape, but rather kind of yielding into the shape. And then slowly we're going to inhale, knees back together, give yourself a bit of a squeeze. And from here, I'm going to turn around and lie down on my back. Oh yeah. Send feet and arms up to the ceiling, give it a little bit of a shake, decompressing any kind of tension that might be there in the spine, the shoulders, arms, the legs. Get creative, nobody's looking. Well, you're looking at me, but nobody's looking at you. And then just drop your feet down to the mat. Walk your feet in until you touch your heels. Then simply press with your feet to lift your abdomen up. And you're trying to push your upper back up the mat. Make it nice and strong pressure, spreading through the upper back, spreading the shoulders. Oh yeah, it feels good. Don't need to get extreme, just creating a sense of connection, knees to upper chest. And then again, slowly drop your knees down. Knees together, now your knees rise up a little bit, or maybe not. Shift your hips to the left, drop your knees to the right. Maybe hold your knees in place, extend your left hand. Excuse me. And look to the left, a spine twist. We're approaching this one somewhat passively. Not trying to be aggressive here, we're just trying to let the effects of the practice be felt in your body now. Not trying to achieve or do anything other than relaxing. That's kind of nice. Slowly make our way to neutral. Sense into the feelings of neutral. Let the spine settle. And then your hips shift to the right, and your knees drop to the left. Right hand extends, look to the right. And just some nice long exhales to release any kind of residual tensions that you might be experiencing. And then from that place again, unwinding, extend your legs long, feet flop open, hands beside the side of your body, palms face up, little tuck of your chin, a little movement of your tailbone away from you. Nice length through the whole spine. Nice big inhale and a long exhale. And you can stay like this as long as you need. I will offer a closing to the practice, but stay just as you are for as long as you need, or as long as the kids don't bug you. Oh no, they're in school, right? Good. From here, my yogi friends, as you go about the rest of your day today, may you be peaceful and calm in all that you do. And from here, exhale, empty your lungs. Nice big inhale. And exhale to sigh. And thank you for sharing your practice with me and letting me share my practice with you today. It's been lots of fun. Hope to see you again sometime soon. Namaste.